If you were hoping the new year would mark a renewed era of abundance for the US food system, we have some bad news. The various food shortages that defined the past 12 months, like butter, baby formula, eggs, are not only expected to continue, but experts are also predicting that they could get even worse in 2023. CNBC reports an economic recession is likely to hit in the early months of the new year, as inflation, environmental catastrophes, and an ongoing fertilizer shortage continue to wreak havoc. I believe 2023 is going to be rough, worse than this year. Tennessee dairy farmer and outspoken agricultural activist Stephanie Nash recently told Fox News, "We are going to have a supply chain shortage. We're going to have an increase in our food prices at the grocery store," she claimed. Nash, a frequent critic of farming regulations, added that inflation is not expected to end anytime soon, as Americans are really going to be hurting in their wallet. Due to the increase in food costs, the supply chain is struggling to keep up with demand. According to the USDA, the fertilizer crisis prompted by Russia's invasion of Ukraine has directly affected crop production for farmers. The government predicted that this situation will become more dire in 2023. In this video, we will be looking at what food shortages we might be facing in 2023 and what other implications this might have on your favorite neighborhood retailer. So make sure to watch till the end to find out which food items you should stock up today. Now let's continue. In a lot of ways, modern US consumers are spectacularly spoiled. We don't mean to be critical, since the ability to obtain virtually anything you want at any time is fairly great. But the widespread constant availability of so many products and services has led to an expectation that those items will always be available. As a result, even a minor inconvenience can lead to stress and panic sometimes, particularly when it comes to our food. We'd love nothing more than to declare that beautiful and affordable food products await us in 2023. But the reality of the global situation dictates pragmatism rather than heedless optimism. While there's no guarantee any potential issues will come to pass, the available evidence provides clues on what to expect. With that in mind, here are 5 essential food items that could be scarce in 2023. 1. Bread. Few products embody the essence of staple items like bread. There's a reason why Massachusetts residents routinely stock up on bread and milk before a nor'easter winter storm. With no end in sight to the 2022 Russia-Ukraine war between two nations that account for nearly 20% of global cereal grain production, many bakeries and factories may struggle to obtain the necessary ingredients to make bread, leading to a potential shortage in 2023. The diminished stock of basic components for bread production isn't likely to replenish before the new year. Given the continued conflict in Eastern Europe, an agreement between Ukraine and Russia did allow the export of agricultural products from the Black Sea to resume in July 2022. But as long as the war persists, cereal grain production in the region will continue to suffer, with bread availability in 2023 a likely casualty. Please like and subscribe to our channel Economic Empires if you find value in our videos. 2. Vegetable oil. Given the area's outsized global contribution, the Russia-Ukraine conflict may substantially reduce the availability of sunflower oilseed products, including vegetable oils derived from the crop, for the foreseeable future. But the chance of a 2023 vegetable oil shortage isn't solely related to Ukraine or Russia. A current palm oil shortage in Indonesia, which briefly banned the export of palm oil in April 2022, hasn't helped matters. Since Indonesia is the world's leading producer of palm oil, any ongoing supply issues only compound the potential problem of vegetable oil availability in 2023. 3. Beer. Clearly, beer is not an essential food item for most of us. However, you can always drink away your sorrows with a nice frosty beer, right? Well, if that's your plan, please don't blame the messenger. Because while a desire to grab an ice-cold beer in 2023 would be understandable, the cruel irony is that a beer shortage may be in the cards too. According to clickorlando.com, the current aluminium shortage could decrease can production, while a lack of available carbon dioxide may impact production of the beverage itself. Since most beverage cans in the US are made with aluminium, the potential impact on a brewery's ability to pack and sell its beer in cans is clear to see. But more than just a lack of material to make cans, an impending 2023 beer shortage is due to the decreased supply of carbon dioxide, an issue that's already caused some smaller craft breweries to shift their production process as of September 2022 according to NPR. Like many other food shortages we anxiously await in 2023, we don't expect to see beer totally stripped from liquor store shelves next year. But consumers who've grown accustomed to choosing from dozens of small craft beer options in recent years may be forced to settle for mass-produced options instead. 4. Butter. Amidst crushing inflation levels in 2022, you may have already noticed the rising price of butter at your local grocery store. This isn't by chance. After all, between lower than expected milk production at many US dairy farms and a sustained labor shortage at many of those same farms, the stock of cold stored butter has diminished to its lowest level since 2017, according to the Wall Street Journal. A slight increase in the overall milk production for 2023 is expected, according to Farmers Advance, which will help replenish butter stocks as the year progresses. But while the expected supply should be greater than in 2022, the expected 23 price for butter is still 65 cents higher than in 2021, suggesting that stores will remain somewhat depleted. 5. Tomatoes. California is responsible for an almost incomprehensible amount of US produce. In fact, according to the California Department of Food and Agriculture in 2021, more than a third of US vegetables were grown in the state, along with 75% of the nation's fruits and nuts. Consequently, a drought there is apt to have a disproportionate effect on the rest of the nation's food supply. In other words, we find ourselves amidst a tomato shortage in 2023. Blame the extended drought devastating California. It's not exactly mind-blowing that a state currently experiencing the driest 3-year stretch in its recorded history has found its farm industry severely impacted. Frankly, given the sustained period of excessive dryness in the Golden State, where more than half the state remains in extreme or exceptional drought as of October 2022 per US Drought Monitor, the odds of a tomato shortage in 2023 are sky high. Please like and subscribe to our channel Economic Empires if you find value in our videos. 6. Beef. It's important to remember that a shortage of a particular food doesn't automatically mean that food won't be available for purchase. Many times consumers will notice a shortage upon experiencing sticker shock at their local supermarket. Unfortunately, the widespread instances of skyrocketing prices on basic food items isn't likely to change much in 2023, particularly when it comes to beef. And with a fairly stark drop in beef production predicted in the second half of this year, you can expect a batch of burgers or steaks to dent your wallet soon. Of all the potential food shortages that may happen in 2023, a beef shortage may be the easiest to predict. Industry insiders were already anticipating a price increase of at least 15% on beef back in September 2022. Consequently, some farmers were forced to sell female cows before they were able to birth a new baby, as ranch owner Wesley Ratcliffe told Reuters, which will inevitably reduce the number of available cows for slaughter in the near future until herds can be replenished over time. Folks with carnivorous cravings may be unable to satiate their desires as easily with beef in 2023, but if nothing else, domestic production of pork, chicken and turkey rose during 2022. So even if a shortage of beef is on the table, a forced shift to vegetarianism is not.